What's up, family? Welcome back to another episode of the 1/4 Careers podcast. I'm your host. I'm here with a very special guest, one of my best friends. Excited for you guys to meet her, hear a little bit about her career, her background. Hopefully, there will be a lot of goodness here for you this episode. I'm here with Shelby. Shelby graduated from Alabama A&M University with a Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering in 2020. Now, Shelby works as a mechanical design engineer at Gulfstream, a jet and commercial aviation company. Pew, pew, pew. Welcome to the pod. What's up, Shelby?
Hi, Xavier. How are you?
Thank you for hopping on. Appreciate you coming through to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. You know, I had to get you on the pod. So, you know, for everybody watching and listening, this is also super exciting because me and my homie here, we be chatting about anything and everything anyway. So to do this on the air, it's kind of weird for us. It's a little weird because we're going to try to not make it a 2-hour episode because we just be talking about all things, but really excited to have this convo for other people to listen to as well. Because I think when we talk, we have a lot of goodness and a lot of sense of service and making people aware of different perspectives. And, you know, I think naturally just when we talk in general, we're just so used to trying to be helpful. So kind of having this convo, I think is, you know, it's really ironic, but very suitable to have this for other people to see. So for y'all tuning in, I promise you, very special episode. I'm gonna try not to make fun of her for real. It'll be hard.
You're not gonna succeed. You're not gonna succeed.
We're not gonna do it. Y'all don't need to know none of that. Y'all don't need to know nothing about that. But nah, cool. How your summer going so far? Everything straight your way though?
Everything is good. It's hot here in Texas, but other than that, you know, having a good time, being a young professional, enjoying life, making new friends and connections. So it's good. I cannot complain.
Streets, y'all.
Not like that.
I'm just playing.
We outside, but we out in nature outside.
Listen, any of the family watching, I'm just joking around.
You're so silly.
I'm joking. I promise you. Nah, cool. Well, without further ado, Shelby, can you please tell the viewers a little bit about your background?
So a little bit about my background. I will say that I am an adventurous, crazy Christian. I love helping people. I love trying new things. Just being out there, just seeing the world. That's who I would say I am.
Yeah. Yeah, she definitely is adventurous. She loves trying new things.
I'm a little adrenaline
you know, yeah, no, for sure. I love that. And I think that's really important. And I really love every time I have a guest hearing how they talk about their background, because it really is a full spectrum of kind of how deep people go, you know, what's really important to them for people to know about them. So I think that's really cool. And I'm sure people will identify with some of those things you mentioned. Well, you share some of your background. First segment time, one of my favorite ones. We only have two. They both my favorites. So I'm a little biased, but I know, you know, ball is life for you. You like to do a little hooping here and there, a little bit of therapeutic for you. But, you know, we got to hit a step back here where we are talking about your career, things that you do. And we're going to get into details there, but want to hit a step back. And before we talk about all of that, take me back to the adolescent years. What did young Shelby growing up want to do professionally?
Well, the earliest thing I can remember wanting to do was being a WNBA player. I wanted to be Lisa Leslie. That dream kind of shattered real quick when I realized I probably was not going to be tall enough, but I definitely wanted to be a WNBA player. Then when I got into high school, I was trying to figure out what was I good at. So it started with like a statistician. I have no idea where a statistician came from, but I know I was good with numbers. So I was like, okay, maybe we can try this. And then people were telling me about being a mechanical engineer. And then I was always interested in how things worked and why they worked the way that they did. And it was a very broad career field to go into. So you could really do anything with it, which is how I got to mechanical engineering.
Yeah. Shout out to all the MEs out there who had that similar path before we had to make a decision. We said, I don't want to do nothing too specific, but I want to do something a little broad, a little general.
And just make a little bit of money, just a little bit.
Just a little something. You know, we had to leverage that Google there.
Right.
Okay, so appreciate that. Returning to regular programming. With that being said, I think it's a really nice preface for this of you went into mechanical engineering to do something a little broad and, you know, for the reasons that you listed. What is it like working as a mechanical design engineer? How would you describe roles and responsibilities there for you?
So right now, my primary skill is just doing a bunch of CAD work. CAD, and we use CATIA, although in college we used Solid Edge, but CATIA is my main thing, and it's just a little surfacing, a little making sure that things are aligned correctly. Like, for example, I do seats. So you have your right hand side and your left hand side seats on the jet, and I'm just having to make sure everything is aligned, that nothing is clashing with anything else on the plane. So that's just my day to day.
So, we were talking before kind of how engineers, sometimes we're numbed by what we do and not really thinking of it as being something that's cool. But I love hyping up everybody, but I always think there's a great perspective, that deserves the hype. So you're telling me that if someone gets in a jet that probably costs millions of dollars, it goes crazy fast. It's a lifestyle that probably very, very few even know what it's like to even be in a jet. And, how many people have even seen a jet up close? If somebody gets in a jet and they sit down in the seat, you're responsible for making sure that things are how they should be when they get inside that cockpit.
This is correct. I'm a very small part. Yeah. This is correct. Yes.
No, yeah. That's cool. So that's engineering. A lot of things are similar to that in that regard. So I wanted to point that out. So shout out to the engineering girlies. Shout out to the Black engineers, Black female engineers doing your thing.
Right.
How did you get into this role doing what you're doing? What led you to this position?
So, luckily, I used to work for another company, and one of my coworkers got a manager position at Gulfstream, and he thought about me. I reached out to him, and I was saying that I'm looking for a new job. So if you have any openings or you know of anyone who's hiring, let me know. And he said that he was. So thankfully, this job came from what he told me is just being a good worker and always, showing up with a smile on my face. And I was the first person that he hired for this position. So that's how I got this job.
Yes. You told your dad that story. I know he's proud.
I did it. I probably need to. So you give me my flowers.
Okay, no, you just did. Hey, yo, Pop. Right. Hey, she the real deal. I'm telling you, boss. She the real
Thank you, Dad.
Oh, no, I love that. And I think that really speaks to just carrying a positive brand, doing good work all the time. And it just shows a piece of networking as well. So I think that stuff is really important. And kudos to you for that, because I think a lot of people really enjoy that story. And it really affirms you that you're doing the right thing. I know for me, I've suffered from imposter syndrome a time or two, and I think that's very normal for a lot of people, but especially in our community. So whenever you get recognized in that way, and not only recognized, like you have an opportunity where you are making money every year doing this role. It's your primary job that you're in, knowing that you received the opportunity because of the good work you did before you even got the opportunity in the first place. It speaks a lot to the impact that you have in your surroundings. So shout out to you for that. I'm excited one day when I have something like that too. I'm investing in this big old network. I'm gonna need y'all to come through for me. But I think that's really cool. So in your role, you mentioned as a design engineer, you do a lot of CAD. For those who don't know what CAD is, the acronym is CAD, and it stands for computer aid design. It's something that a lot of mechanical engineers and other engineers are well versed in. It's a big part of when we're building systems, we're building anything. Before you see it out in the real world, anything that's physical, for the most part, I want to say anything and everything that you've ever seen that's physical in life has been designed at some point. And designing it on the computer to see if things will work and simulating the environment that the product will be in, it saves you so much time and money before you building it in real life and say, oh, this doesn't work. So that's just like a little nerding out, if you will. Shout out to me for even knowing that.
Okay, you better remember.
Your boy's not even engineer no more. Again, one day I'm gonna do my episode one day, y'all. If I get some more subscribers, we're gonna have to do a special. Then I'll let y'all know a little bit more about me. But no, that's really cool. So with that being said, kind of giving the people insight into what you do, what would you describe as some of the top skills and certifications that someone can go acquire to be successful in your role or a role that's similar?
So in like you were saying before, when you get a mechanical engineering degree, one of the requirements for the classes is CAD. So I would say anyone that decides to go into mechanical engineering, that's probably going to be like a class in your freshman or sophomore year. Make sure that you take that class seriously. I'll take all your classes seriously, but make sure you take that one seriously and that you're confident in those skills, because you never know how you could come back and have to use it later. Because when I first started, I didn't use any CAD. I haven't used CAD since my freshman year of college, but I did remember how to use it. And I'm so thankful that I took that class seriously, because sometimes when you're in school, you don't really want to take class seriously. It's like, I'll get to it. But this is a lesson to me, like, take everything seriously, because you don't know when it's going to come back around and help you. So I would say get good on your CAD skills. A lot of companies are going towards like CATIA, and they're going to Creo. So if you can get into one of those two programs, and definitely use that. And Six Sigma, to get that certificate or that certification. Also, if you want to study up on like ANSYS, I know ANSYS is kind of ancient, but just understanding that background and the technical side of that, that'll be very helpful. Just being not necessarily passionate, but being intentional about what you learn and making sure that you understand it, because that's just going to help you. Not even trying to look good for the company, but being confident in your skills and in yourself, that'll help you. So
you definitely dropping some gems there, because I think it does speak to something that we probably weren't as aware of, and it's not our fault. It's more of hindsight's 2020, or you didn't know what you don't know. Right. But that really calls out a couple things for those who are engineering students, or for anyone in any role. It's really good to try to gain awareness about skills that you need when you graduate, or when you go into the role that you hope to enter into one day. And a lot of times you can't really find that awareness, or you don't get these type of gems if you're not networking, if you don't have mentors, and if you're not interning. A special plug about that, though, Shelby mentioned a few different programs that you can gain experience in as an engineer in undergrad. She also mentioned, what else? Well, she said that really struck me. Six Sigma. You mentioned Six Sigma. So I got my Six Sigma certification during an internship in undergrad. I think it was maybe my second internship after my sophomore year. The place I interned at, I was able to just kind of get I think it was my yellow belt, which isn't, it's one of the one or two first levels in getting your Six Sigma degree. Right. But I bring this up because for y'all folks who are in undergrad, and really anywhere, but especially undergrad or high school, I don't care. Try to go get the free stuff, free 99, as much as you can. You hear me? So if you have training programs that are available to you, you combine the opportunity to get certain trainings, certain experiences, certain certifications. You combine that opportunity with your awareness of what you actually need, and they in some trouble. That is a powerful thing. Imagine if you knew you wanted to do, let's say, the role that Shelby's in. If you knew that freshman year, maybe, one, you would take the class seriously. If you had to do CAD, which you did, Shelby. I mean, more of others. You'll take the class seriously. Maybe you'll look for an internship, and as you're talking to people offering these internship opportunities, you'll ask, any chance I can get Six Sigma certified with you? Any chance I'll be able to work with this CAD software? Any certifications I can get? Because that will just help your transition to full-time work so much easier, and it'll make you more high in demand. So to all my students out there, no matter what you're studying, keep that in mind, that is something that you can do now to make your transition to full-time so much more enjoyable, easier, and it will help give you an advantage once you enter the workforce. A lot of schools design and structure their programs to give their students an advantage and a head start. So some schools may make their students get certified in some of these things, as and provide the opportunity, but not all schools are created equally in terms of the resources. So if your school doesn't offer these opportunities, we're telling you now so you can go get it. Yep. That was a long rant, but Shelby, you mentioned something that was just so important. I know I haven't talked about it at this point throughout any of that episode, but that was a really good opportunity to highlight that. Go get that free 99, or go follow those opportunities working wise.
And then also, I'm sorry, I was going to say, if I can add to like you were talking about the companies offering, the certifications, but also just ask beforehand, which certifications or anything do you offer? Because I know sometimes we don't know what we don't know, and you may not know what you need. So just ask like, hey, what are you offering certification wise or class wise, or just something that could help you in the future? So absolutely. Excuse me, for sure. Just ask.
Yeah. Now don't be turning down no jobs just say they don't offer none. Now we ain't telling you that.
True.
We just telling you. We just telling you.
Yes.
Ask some questions in case you have some clarity, if you will, of what you want to do. Because if you go broke, don't be calling me telling comment on my video telling me I told you to say no to an internship. Not what we're saying, but no, I think that's really great. So hopefully you all are able to take some of that information and apply it to your own situations, and hopefully y'all will, have a very prosperous experience as you gear up for the role that you really want to enter into. So transitioning from skills and certifications, I know we spend a lot of time there because it's really important. I want to ask you about programs and associations for other aspiring engineers. What have you observed, whether it's in college or maybe as a full-time professional, any programs and associations that people can join to be in proximity to other like-minded people who are also aspiring engineers or in a field that's adjacent?
So I know a lot of people have probably already talked about NSBE. I wasn't as involved with NSBE in college as I would have liked to have been, but I would say NSBE is definitely a great network to get into. Also, at Alabama A&M, we had CDS. I don't know what it is for other schools, but CDS is Career Development Services. And then that was just so helpful. Having people that really cared about getting your resume together, getting your interview skills together, also networking with your colleagues, like your other college mates. Get with the people who really care about getting into the field. Because, our group, we were always looking out for each other, like, hey, did you sign up for this? Did you do that? So definitely getting a good network at school. Out of college, for NSBE, they have your alumni chapters. I would definitely say get involved with that. Okay. Even if they also have your school chapters as well, the like-minded people who are in their professional fields. I have a group meeting right now with DFW Alabama A&M. They're always posting different hiring positions like, hey, we have this position open, we have this certification if anyone is needing it. And it's usually fairly cheap or it's free because they're just trying to get people to come in. So definitely networking in your city.
Man, I'm jealous. I'm not in no big city like that where
I know.
I don't have my Alabama A&M family like that around me.
I know. But you can start one.
Yeah, I don't know how many people are up here, but no, I love that. I do think it's really important. And shout out to NSBE, man. I don't care if every episode y'all come up. National Society of Black Engineers. It's an amazing organization that does so much for so many people. So if you don't know about NSBE, now you do. Very excited to introduce that to you. If you know about it, but you're not engaged, go out on a limb, give it a try, be in an uncomfortable environment. It's a beautiful organization to be a part of, and it's whatever you make it. So I think that's great. Alumni chapters, all of that. Appreciate you shedding light on that. Now, I'm curious about the diversity of backgrounds and career paths that you observe in the manufacturing environment. How would you describe what are the careers that surround you in your role with you being a design engineer?
There are so many. So at my current job right now, I would say it's kind of straightforward. You have your mechanical engineer like 1, 2, and 3, and then the higher you get, the harder your projects are. And then after that, you start going into a lead position, which is because we are a task-based position, everyone is assigned a certain amount of tasks, then your lead then has to check it and it'll go to whoever is next in command. And then you have your supervisor. After that, you have their supervisor, so on and so forth. So at my current job, it's kind of just a straight path. There's you just get more skills in your CAD work, and then you're overseeing other people who are doing that CAD work.
Yeah.
At my other position, or at my last job, it was kind of broad because they were doing mining rigs. The company's called Epiroc, and I was a manufacturing engineer there, where I kind of helped the production floor, whatever they needed. We were helping them and supporting them as well. And then you had your mechanical design engineers. And on top of that, you had like supply chain, you had your warehouse workers. So it just depends on what industry you're. So if you're, I would say in the mining industry, like I said, you have like your supply chain, you have your sourcing, you have your warehouse. So mechanical engineers can kind of jump into those different positions. But at Gulfstream right now, it's more mainstream. So it's kind of all over the place.
Now that's really interesting because this is something that I didn't quite have I didn't really realize as much. I didn't have a holistic view of what mechanical engineering could look like depending on where you work at and what industry.
Right.
Like that's a good call out because all the mechanical engineers, you could do similar things, but it does matter what industry, what product you're working on. So if you're even if you're a design engineer, let's say you're someone who wants to do computer aid design, you really enjoy designing products on the computer.
Right.
Well, what do you want to design? Do you want to design an oil rig, a mining machine? Do you want to design cars? You want to design defense equipment like tanks and jets? Do you want to design, I don't know, like household products? You know, what are you interested in? So it does matter the industry, it matters the product. And I think that's really empowering because if you're an aspiring engineer and this sounds like something that is interesting to you, hey, you have all the freedom in the world to look at what type of company you want to work at and do this for. So I encourage anyone out there to be creative in your thinking of what you're interested in, especially if you're younger, really at any age, because no matter your age, like you're able to reinvent yourself. But especially if you're younger, be excited for the fact that you can do whatever interests you. You can work for any type of company. If you say, I want to go work for a company who makes Dawn dish soap, or if you want to go work for whoever, like that's just like a super random one. But that's something that may sound a little extreme, but I say that to hopefully encourage you to think similarly. Think about whatever you feel would bring you a lot of interest in terms of kind of where you want to work and do this type of engineering work at. So I think that was a really cool call out. So take me back to undergrad. When it comes to giving yourself advice, if you could go back to better prepare yourself for life, for this current role, wherever you want to take it, professional, personal, a mix of both, what kind of advice would you give yourself in undergrad? And I'm interested in knowing this because I don't know if I ever remember kind of asking you personally. I'm sure we've talked about it, like I'm putting you on the spot. Like, what kind of advice would you give yourself?
I would work on trying to be more confident in my abilities. I think being in a environment where you see all these different people who are super talented, you kind of just question yourself like, hey, am I doing enough? But just knowing that you're putting in your 100% effort, that should build your confidence. Like, okay, I'm trying, I'm putting forth everything that I can. That'll help you go so far. I would also say, like I said before, taking everything serious in college, like, because you never know how that's going to help you in the future. Just please, again, just don't try not to skip as many classes. Make sure you attend as much as you can. Let's see, what else would I say? I think as well, making sure that you treat everyone with the utmost respect, and like that, going back to that golden rule, treat other people how you want to be treated, because people remember that about you. They remember those small things. They remember, oh, Shelby was always nice, or Xavier was always helpful. Let me reach out to them 10 years later, 15 years later. Like, people really remember that about you, and that stays with you. So definitely just treating people with the utmost respect and just helping others out. That's the biggest thing. Yeah.
Now, for people who don't know Shelby, I gotta make sure y'all don't get it twisted. Now, she might say go to class and take stuff serious, but like she wasn't taking stuff not serious. Like,
yes,
she was
for
in
sure.
class. Oh, I can't remember how many classes she ever missed. So
For sure.
I almost thought going to think that advice she trying to say she was missing, so she was not missing classes and stuff.
True.
But yes, that is good advice. Take it serious. Everything in balance and moderation. Like, I have my own views on kind of how you balance that with taking things serious, but as well making sure you're taking care of your mental, which I know is something, Shelby, that we've talked about before too. But yeah, that's really interesting advice. Definitely, it is important to be confident and do your best to learn how you can mitigate that imposter syndrome and being more confident in yourself. Don't torture yourself mentally. Like college and being younger is such a fruitful, nurturing, fun time. For those who are like-minded to me and Shelby, try not to ruin that experience or make it less fun or fulfilling because you're always in your head about, am I good enough? Am I doing it right?
Right.
As long as you're doing your best, there's nothing more that you can do. Keep doing your best. Keep trying to get better each day, and I promise you won't regret it. So going to our next segment. I'm really excited for this one. This is a 3-piece. We both from the South, so we know what's cooking with that. But I need a 3-piece from you about your career. It's been a few years now since you've graduated. You have a lot of internship experience. What are 3 words you would share that would describe your career journey thus far?
Ooh, 3 words that would describe my career journey. Let's see. Because I've had a lot of opportunities. I've had 3 career opportunities in 4 years. I'll say diverse is one. Diverse is one.
Okay.
I'll say fun. And I'll say fun because every company I've worked at, they always try to, the team that I'm on, they're always trying to make it enjoyable. And they do a lot of outings. Like we'll go bowling or we'll go to Top Golf or just trying to make everything personable. So I'll say fun, probably diverse, fun, and personable, like you said. Because I'm trying to focus on the people that I work with. It's not really the things that I did. It's the people that I work with that's the most memorable. So I would say that.
Yeah. I love that. See, you told me I was going to take you 10 minutes.
I know. It took 3, took too long.
No, but I love it because, look at where you landed at. Diverse, fun, personable. I think that's a really nice choice of 3 words to describe that. And I know those things describe you too and a lot of the experiences that you've shared. So for y'all out there, those are her 3 words. Hopefully you took something away from that. Next question I have for you is wanting to know what's on the horizon for you. Where do you see yourself in the next year or 2?
In the next year, I honestly see myself hopefully in a maybe a lead position or just taking on more projects for CAD. CAD is one field that I'm actually really interested in. I really like honing my skills in it, and I just want to see what I can do because it's the technical side, but it's also creative. And so that's very nice being in that field where I can use some of those creative juices because you don't really think about that from a mechanical design engineer, but you do have to have a little creativity with your work. So probably getting a few more certifications, taking some more CAD classes and getting better with that. Yeah.
That is crazy because I was anti-CAD. I was like, I don't rock with this. I'm not trying to do it. But I love that it's something that has grown on you. And again, Shelby's journey was she didn't do CAD since freshman year. And we're talking about a couple or a few years after graduating from college. So that's a huge, several year gap. But for her to now be as interested in CAD as she is and using it each day and have some of her goals centered around that, I think that really highlights that sometimes, things aren't really on your schedule and a lot of your future experiences will be unexpected. I know both of us are huge planners in terms of, planning our life out and planning what the next few years will look like. But I feel like we both can say, looking back on the last several years, that everything that's happening is not what we had planned. And we're much better off for it. So hopefully that's a really good takeaway for a lot of you is it's okay if things don't go exactly as planned. And it also gives you an added element of excitement where maybe you say, I wonder where will I be in a few years? I plan to be here, but I wonder how much that will differ from where I actually land. So stay tuned and you guys will soon find out. So Shelby, tell me, you do a lot of engineering. We're talking about your career, but I know you have some special plans in the works in the future. So share that with the people. Let them know what you have going on up here and what you plan to have going on that they can tap into, hopefully sooner than later.
So Xavier and I are always talking about our finances and money and trying to figure out not that money, trying to figure out what's the best way to go about handling that. And that's one thing that I'm very passionate about, especially just teaching the Black community just how to budget your money and not be so intimidated by it, and know that it's money is something that you control. It's something that can be powerful to you, and it's a tool for you. So something that's mentally going on right now, I kind of want to start a budget financial advisor kind of position, or just kind of side hustle. So if anyone is interested in asking me any questions about, okay, how do I budget this? How do I pay for my bills? Where should I put my excess money, like 401k knowledge, Roth IRA, all that good stuff, just you can hit me up. I know he's going to put my credentials at the bottom. Yes, sir. So yeah, if you have any questions about that, feel free to ask me, because I'm very passionate about helping other people in that realm.
Hey, y'all check her out, man. Look, I'm gonna do your first advertisement here. All right, everyone. I don't know what the name of it's gonna be. We're gonna call it Shelby Reeves Enterprises as of today. That's what it's gonna look like. She will give you advice because she cares about your life. She cares about your financial experiences. She wants money to unlock so much untapped potential for you. Hit the girl up. She's gonna work with you. She cares about your situation. No worries if you're intimidated. Whatever you got, come as you are. And she is here to educate, empower, and uplift. Check her out. All right, how'd I do? That was like the first advertisement right there. Like
that was great. I'm about to hire you.
Hey,
about to get on my payroll. That's good.
I need some. I need a little something. You know what I'm saying? You got a niece. I'm trying to get her right.
The college fund. We know.
Exactly. You know about the college fund. Look, I told Shelby multiple times. I'm about to send you the link to the college fund.
Even before she was here. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. All right. You ain't had to do that. All right. Listen, y'all. I love, you got to be prepared. I had to let my circle know, like, y'all got to be prepared. But anyway, this is about Shelby Reeves Enterprises.
Sorry.
No, I appreciate you sharing that. Shoot, I'm gonna have to tap in with you too. As the years go on, be like, I'm trying to get this under control. What's going on here? But Shelby's a very, very organized and structured person. So I assure you, y'all talk to her, she will get you right with all the structure you need. So, but that's really cool to hear you say that, though, because I think what that also highlights for people is, although you're an engineer, there are some people who just don't realize how much of life exists outside of work. Like, it's not everything. It's not the end all be all. You enjoy what you do. You have goals associated with your career, but there's also ways that you want to drive impact and serve others outside of work. So it's really interesting. I think it's a diverse testimony to share with people for those who are students, for those who are working age adults, for those who, wherever you are on your journey, people are so complex, people are so different, they have different interests. And this gives you an opportunity to see someone who has a day job, but they're also sharing with you some of their interests around, what they're passionate about, things that they want to do. So hopefully this inspires you. If you haven't really thought about how you want to blend your professional interests with your personal interests or additional things that you want to do in life, this is a little bit of what that thinking looks like. She hasn't launched anything yet, but she at least has a goal and she's been thinking about it. So she's nurturing that thought of what she wants to do. And I'm glad you're talking about it. I'm glad that you mentioned it. I've been in the position before of having that similar thought, but you kind of shoo away that. And you're like, all I have time for is work. I don't really have time to do these other things. But, somebody else who's like a Christian and, faith bound, it's kind of, the more you try to block out what God is trying to put in your life, there are instances where, it's going to stay there. He's going to keep reminding you that that's something that you want to do. And until you kind of accept that, I think there are a lot of times where some of y'all might have heard different testimonies of like, well, I was fighting this urge to do this for so long, but then I finally did it. And like, I knew all along this is what I wanted to do, but so on and so forth. And I think that's similar for me with this pod. I didn't know I exactly wanted to do the pod, but I knew I had an interest in driving impact and driving professional clarity for other people. So similar to Shelby of what she wants to do, I'm glad that she has not abandoned her thought and interest of kind of what she wants to do in addition to engineering, because she's going to do some pretty amazing stuff, and hopefully she will be helping you out very soon. So Shelby, as we close, is there anything else that you want to leave the listeners with? Let them know what's on your mind.
Like, I think I've already said it, and I think that just shows how important it is to me, is to just treat other people the way that you want to be treated. Because all of the opportunities that I feel like I've ever gotten are because of how I treated people, and they remember that. So just go about life enjoying it, and just, have fun and make really good connections and make genuine connections. Don't make connections for the intent of getting something out of someone. Make the connection of wanting to get to know them and just being nice to them because they are human and they deserve it, just like you do. So
I love it. Well, drop the mic. This is the end.
Yes.
We're gonna have to come back on. Look, I'm gonna have to create like a whole nother channel so we can do like personal stuff with everybody in my circle, because there are just so many conversations we could have. But I'm really proud of how we were able to share so many different perspectives of things that we're both passionate about. You bringing your whole self to the show, letting people know kind of what's on your mind and how you have lived your life so far. I think it's so much that people can be proud and admire about you. And I think that so much that you've done in your professional journey and in life, I think, your family, I think people that you've interacted with, it definitely is an inspiration to a lot of people. So as I tell my people on the pod, I'm always going to bring y'all people who I think can drive positive impact for you. So hopefully this is just yet another point in time where you were inspired, you heard something that made you smile, and you got something positive out of this. So Shelby, I give you your flowers, family, for everybody to see and hear. But as soon as we talk, I'm gonna make fun of you again. But at least for the pod, what other people need to know, you are amazing. So give you your flowers. I appreciate you, and thanks for coming by.
Thank you, Xavier. Thank you so much for having me. And I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. Yep. Okay, bet. Well, we're gonna be turned here after the episode. But other than that, I appreciate you stopping by, and we'll talk soon.
Bye.
Bye. All right, y'all. That was another family member I brought to you. Really appreciate y'all sticking around for the full episode. This is amazing. Hopefully you guys are seeing some growth from me too. I'm an amateur at this. Your boy is new, but I'm passionate about serving all of you. I'm passionate about bringing you other careers, and I love it. Ain't nobody making no money and nothing like that, but this is just really fun to kind of serve myself in a way of, when I was younger, this is what I needed, honestly. And like I always kind of tease out, I will kind of go more into detail there, but this is something that's really important to me. And I think that there are so many people who deserve professional clarity. You all deserve to be exposed and know what's out there and be empowered to achieve whatever your goals are. This is a marathon. This is not a sprint. You are on your own journey, and I am here to support you. So again, I appreciate y'all for sticking around. So like, comment, subscribe, interact. You all are a part of my initial journey where I hope this grows into something so much bigger than myself. But yeah, let me know what career I should do next. Check me out on all platforms, and I appreciate y'all. As always, stay happy, stay blessed.